I don't know for the life of me how the hell he still is represented by Klutch Sports. For someone that is supposed to be helping Ben Simmons, for a company that's supposed to be making him look really good all the time, how they allow different things to be leaked out to the media, how they allow things from people in their own camp, such as Brian Windhorst, put things out about how Ben Simmons doesn't like Philadelphia, he doesn't like Joel Embiid, he doesn't like Doc Rivers, he didn't like what was said about him after the series against Atlanta. How all that is the stuff that was pushed out and put in the mainstream media. All that stuff that was supposed to be Ben's side of the story, all that gets said. Joel Embiid's fault, Doc Rivers' fault, the Sixers' fault, the city of Philadelphia's fault, Philadelphia fans' fault. All that is what's pushed out and talked about for months at a time. And then when Ben addresses the team and actually shows up and doesn't show up until he starts to get fined, and even when he refused teammates going to visit him in LA, and even though during this process we learned that he is ignoring text messages and calls from Doc Rivers, even though all that's going on, somehow it doesn't leak that he is going through mental health issues. There's a line that Ben Simmons said yesterday about how he was just trying to get his mind right. If that line is said even before training camp, that's right there along the lines of Lane Johnson, where we didn't know why Lane Johnson was gone. We didn't know why he was missing like a month of the season. And you know what they said? Personal reasons. Lane's got something personal going on. And whenever I hear that as a decent human being, I go, whatever it is, they got to deal with it. Like, I don't look at athletes as these superhumans anymore. Like, maybe I'm jaded in that regard, or maybe I'm just a realist because I've been fortunate enough to interview these people, get to know these people, and realize, hey, what do you know? They are just like us. Like, that whole facade is gone to me. They're just another guy. You know what I'm saying? So when I listen to athletes talk about themselves as humans, I go, oh, okay, because there's no amount of money that will make me stop being a human being. I will still have feelings, all that stuff. You know, every cliche you want to roll out about how I'm still a person, you can roll out right now. But Lane Johnson's situation was, it's personal. We're not getting into it. It's Lane Johnson. Okay, Lane Johnson comes back. Lane, I thought, did a tremendous amount of work for people that go through mental health issues when he talked about just how bad it was for him. He got into specifics. He talked about going off his medication, talking about how that balance wasn't there for him. When Brandon Brooks came back from his battle with anxiety on 2 separate occasions, came out and I think helped a lot of people by saying, I'm a professional football player. I'm an offensive line, big, tough guy, right? And I go through these struggles. And it doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter your physical stature. It doesn't matter how physically strong you are. It's all about what's between the ears. And I mean, how many times do we hear from people that are just ridiculously rich and that person is depressed as all hell because, yes, money can't buy happiness. It can get rid of a lot of worries. But overall, if you're not right between the ears, it doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank account, how much money you have in your purse or your wallet or whatever it might be. Brandon Brooks came out and spoke and gave you details. Lane Johnson came out and spoke and gave you details. And ultimately, he helped a lot. They helped a lot of people, not just in the Philadelphia area, but across the country. Ben Simmons, mum is the word. Until he started losing money. And then we started to hear about not mental health, but mentally ready to play, which could mean a whole slew of things. And I pointed that out at the time that it happened. It's weird to me that even now they're mentioning anything with mental concerns, that it's not mental health, it's not mental well-being, it's mental readiness to play. So that could mean I got to wrap my head around that Joel Embiid said I was the turning point. I got to wrap my head around the fact that Daryl Morey wanted to trade me before last season. I got to wrap my head around that my head coach, who had my back for the entire season, benched me and then also said, I don't know if I can win a championship with Ben Simmons as my point guard. Like, that could be not mental health, but just anybody with a good mental approach or mindset going into a game or a work setting. I got to wrap my head around the fact that maybe these guys don't believe in me as much as I